come in.
Well, howdy! You must be that James fella.
I am. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Oh, it's no trouble. I did sort of miss that first one you sent out. I felt bad having to send Mox by himself.
Your husband did fine. Did he talk about our meeting when you returned from your visitation?
Just a bit. Nothing too specific. He did say that you two had similar music interests.
I suppose we do. Now, why don't we get started? Could you tell me a bit about yourself?
Golly! I don't know where to start. Well, I'm Millie. I'm a professional assassin for IMP. Started out as a farm girl on Wrath, but I worked my way to the top with blood, sweat, and tears. Not all of which were my own. I love trying new things, helping others where I can, and I always try to keep a positive attitude for new things and people, since you can't have too many friendly faces in life.
A very optimistic mindset.
Absolutely. When I heard you wanted to learn about us and our kind, I was more than happy to help, especially if it's for some fancy science stuff.
Mostly the psychology and sociology of the different people who reside in hell, including imps.
That's great! How can I help?
First, what can I do to make you more comfortable? Perhaps some refreshments or music?
I don't mind music. Go ahead.
Very well. One moment.
Oh, wow! It's one of them old music players. Ma had one of these once.
Gramophone. And yes, they are quite vintage.
Ooh, classy!
Now, your employer told me that you're somewhat of a specialist when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. How impactful is that in your missions?
I'd say very much. Thanks to Blitz's somewhat wild plans, things can get out of hand sometimes, and a gun ain't always gonna bail us out. Then we gotta get our hands dirty for that sweet victory!
I see. And if there is no other option but to use firearms?
Well, I can shoot just fine. But if duty calls for something like that, there's no better shot than Moxie.
And where did you learn all these impressive skills?
Whew, boy, it's a long story.
We have time.
You sure you wanna go? You alright?
I'm fine. It's nothing. You were saying?
Right. I learned most of my stuff in Wrath. The basics, anyway. When I started looking for work, my skills only sharpened with every job. Though, there ain't much I could have done to sustain myself. Hard times, you know. Started moving between the rings for work and new experiences. I definitely had some bumps in the road. Bad jobs, bad people. But what didn't kill me made me stronger. I like to think it all shaped me to be the girl I am today.
All right. I already spoke with Moxie about his beginnings and past, but now I'd like to know yours. You mentioned you started out on a farm?
Yep, my pa has a ranch in Wrath that I still come back to every now and then. Say hi to my folks and siblings.
Would you say you have a healthy relationship with your family?
Oh, 1000%. I love all of them.
How many siblings do you have?
3 brothers and 1 sister.
Goodness. Did you always get along together?
Most of the time. We'd only ever fight over small and funny things like chores around the house or bits of dessert Ma would bake.
You seem to view it with nostalgia. Do you miss that life at all?
A little bit. Times were simpler then, you know? School, help on the farm, supper, playtime, bed. It was all so simple. It was a life we grew to love. I do wish I could relive those days sometimes. Feel like a kid again. But this life I have right now is also amazing. I have a career, a husband, and a future.
What motivated you to leave your old life behind?
It was a lot of things. In all honesty, I didn't really see a future for myself on the ranch. I do have some nostalgia for it, but that life felt limited. It was a dust bowl as far as the eye could see, and there wasn't much else I could do for work in town or whatever. it was always muscle work. Sure, the heavy lifting and hot summers gave me a place to build resilience, but I always felt like I could do more. I figured the best place for me was to just fit in with all the other hard imps and do what I was best at, assassination work. But imp assassins and wrath are as common as tumbleweeds. I needed to fight tooth and nail for jobs to do, only to be paid with barely enough to get me through the next day. I did feel bad leaving my sister and everything, but I wanted to pursue my dreams and really make something of my life.
Interesting. You mentioned only your sister at the end. Were you two close?
As close as we could be. Growing up, I always felt like I didn't have anyone to relate to. No one to share my problems with without the fear of judgment. That all changed when Sally Mae came out to us and became my first and only sister. I could finally talk to someone about girl stuff and really be myself. We'd spend every day together just having fun, bonding, and so much more. Yeah, we'd fight sometimes, but we'd make up the next day anyway.
She sounds very important to you. Did she appreciate your visit?
Yeah, she came to Imp City not too long ago, and we had fun like the old days. Made me realize that I really did miss home. I promised to her I'd visit more often, and I owe her so much more than just a few visits.
Do you have any other fond memories from your childhood?
Well, there were all those trips we'd take to Lululand. We didn't have much in terms of money, but when we had enough, our folks took us to this carnival. The rides, games, prizes, the whole shebang! And the food! I remember this one time one of my brothers ate too much of those fried batter sticks and threw up all over the place. Poor Sob was sick for a whole week after. And me and Sally Mae had to split his chores between us. We were so pissed. You know, my mom always had remedies for a sore throat. Maybe you can try some.
Thank you for your concern, but this isn't something a home remedy can fix. Why don't you tell me about your current frustrations?
Well, there's not that much in all honesty.
Nothing that irritates or upsets you?
I mean, I guess there's one thing. You know about the reputation imps have? Especially the ones from Wrath?
I do not.
We're only seen as muscle. Hired only for our strength and never anything else. What really makes me feel upset is this whole belief that we can't be more. That all I could ever be good for is the dirty work. But I'm so much more than that. I want to be appreciated and respected for other things.
That is a fair request. I'm sure others like you feel the same way. How is your relationship with Moxie?
It's wonderful. He's just the sweetest and most perfect man for me. I wouldn't dream of anyone else even coming close to being that amazing.
You two met after the both of you joined Blitz's company, correct?
Yes, indeed.
Now, I'm curious. What did you see in him? The thing which convinced you to give him a chance?
Besides being absolutely downright adorable, he didn't see me as this murder machine. He saw the real me. And I knew he didn't care about where I came from or what I was capable of. He was one of the few people in my life to really understand me. He was there to hear me talk, give me a helping hand whenever I needed it, and not once did he show the tiniest bit of doubt. He was confident, but not cocky. Only after we started dating did he admit that I was the one who gave him that confidence.
How lovely. Did he ever meet your family in Wrath?
He sure did. My parents weren't that happy about him, though. They always imagined I'd marry someone like a big, tough, manly imp who ran in the same circles as my pa in Wrath. Not someone like Mox. That kinda made it even more awkward when I told him we were getting married.
Of all my previous subjects, you seem to have the happiest life. You and Moxie, of course. Everyone else has problems, dilemmas and personal issues which they have yet to resolve.
Life is too short to have a bad day.
I completely agree. It's unfortunate that this adage cannot apply to the former Arzguisha prince. Stolas and his downfall seem to have impacted the lives of many people. Would you say that also applies to you?
Well, kinda. I do feel bad for the bird, but Blitz is taking care of him now. I'm sure he'll be fine.
When was the last time you saw him?
He came by the office with Blitz a few times last week. He seemed to be doing better, which is nice. Less jittery and more relaxed.
How nice. Do you remember anything from that night when Stolas tried to see his daughter?
Gosh, that was quite a bit ago. I remember that he was in shock for the rest of the night. Even when Luna's friends started showing up for that Sandsmith party, he just sat there staring off to who knows where.
Tell me more.
But how is this supposed to relate to my whole psychology thing?
Your opinions and interpretations of critical events help me tremendously in helping me understand you. Please, continue.
Okay then. I remember Blitz tried comforting him, but I don't think it really helped. And during all those drinking games at the party, he didn't really show any interest at all. I really hope things end up okay for him. I can't imagine how awful he must have felt seeing his daughter leave him.
Stolas made mistakes which led to his current situation, and Blitz contributed not a small amount to that. How do you feel about Blitz, now that you know he's responsible for Stolas' current situation?
Listen, mister. I don't know if you're trying to prove something, but I don't appreciate the way you're talking about Blitz.
Did I say something factually incorrect?
The Blitz you're thinking of and the one I know are completely different. It's like you're saying he wanted to ruin the prince's life.
And if I did believe that, how would your outlook on me begin to change?
I'd say you don't know Blitz the way I do. He's anything but cruel. He's the kind of imp who would fight until his last breath to protect the ones he cares about.
I see. You were quite speedy to defend his name.
So what?
Do you have any concerns that Blitz will cause a similar separation between you and Moxie?
You'd better be careful about what you say next.
Even if Blitz did not mean to separate Stolas from his daughter, it happened regardless. Because of him. What are the chances something similar could happen to you and Moxie? Or even your family in Wrath?
I don't believe for even a second that Blitz would do something like that. I know him. He'd never try to hurt me, Moxie, or Sal, or anyone.
I can tell you're conflicted. And please do not mistake my questions as attacks. This is all part of the learning process.
I'm not conflicted.
Are you? I can tell there's something on your mind.
You're starting to piss me off. You really think so?
Perhaps there is something else in your life that is causing you distress. Would you be willing to discuss that?
Like you know anything about what I'm going through.
So there is something.
What? No, I didn't say anything.
I am not an enemy of yours. I simply wish to learn about you. And sharing your story would help not only me, but also allow you a chance to reflect and release unwanted aggression. Please, take a moment to collect yourself.
I just don't like others talking bad about the people in my life.
That quality tells me you're very protective.
Is that such a bad thing?
Not at all. I would say that your closeness and kind heart are an uncommon treat down here. Anyone who you consider close should count themselves as lucky.
Thanks?
Now, about your predicament you're going through.
You promise not to say anything? I want to keep this private.
Of course. All information I learn is kept secret and between us.
Is it alright if I get something to drink? All this talking got me a tad thirsty.
Is water fine? Please continue.
I never been one to make plans. I usually go along with what others want because I trust them. Sure, I can take charge when I need to, but even I don't know what to do sometimes. It's like when life throws you for such a spin that you lose your balance. You're all steady one moment, but then your world gets turned upside down. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm not ready for that. I love my life as it is right now, but if things continue the way they are, I don't know what my future will be like, and I can't imagine what I'm gonna do. This isn't like a mission or anything, not a target we gotta take down, not something I can just fix with a plan. I can't believe it. For the first time in my life, I'm terrified.
What could be the cause of this personal disturbance?
I've seen chaos and death nearly every day my entire life. I've grown strong and ready to protect everyone I love. I live for the fight. But now, I'm scared I'm not ready for what's coming next. I'm pregnant.
What?
I found out on Sins Miss. Only you and Sally Mae know. I hope with every part of me that things will be okay. Here's to a new chapter in my life.
No, don't!
Hey! What the fuck?
You almost...
What in Satan's name is wrong with you?
The glass was filthy. Yes, the glass wasn't clean. I did not realize. I apologize.
Oh yeah? Seems like a pretty crazy reaction for something so small.
I think you should leave. We shall continue this another time.
Hold on now. You can't just push me away like that.
I will not fight you about this. Go!
You can forget about any more meetings with me then, you slimeball in Sunday shoes.
Too close.
Hello?
Ivan, how was the meeting with Subject 061? Did it go well?
It's alright so far.
Wait, you're still there?
Yes.
Well, I need you back here. There's a new problem we need to address.
Well, I'm not exactly finished.
The treatment was rejected. Symptoms only progressed.
Again?
If you still have crucial information to learn from her, take your time. We cannot rush this.
No, it's alright. I'll wrap things up.
Very well. See you soon.
Okay then, bye.